So Luke 1 is what the Lord put in my heart. Real quick, I want to tell you about two women that the Lord put in my heart was Mary and Elizabeth. You are empowered, and so are these two ladies. Mary visits Elizabeth. So verse 39 in chapter 1 says, "Now at this time Mary arose and hurried to the hill country, to a city of Judea." A lot of us would just read that and move on to the second verse, right? Because that's boring. Nobody wants to know where she's at. But if you look, what scholars say is that she basically walked about 81 miles. A little bit before those verses, she had just been prophesied that she was about to be pregnant with the Messiah. So she was willing to go through a process to align herself to community, to align herself with discipleship. She didn't have a car. She didn't have Uber. She walked in her little sandals, walked for 81 miles in the heat. And it says she hurried. She hurried. You reminds me of her. Because some of you, you went through hell to be here today. You went through hell. Some of you didn't have coins. Some of you didn't have a babysitter. Some of you had to put in work. It was inconvenient. You pushed through the excuses. You pushed through the haters. You did everything you could because you said... Because there's a promise on my life. There's a word on my life, and I can't afford to miscarry it. So I need to align myself to leaders who will pour into me, leaders who will disciple me, who will mentor me, who will correct me, who will keep me accountable, because what I have inside of me has the power to transform nations and generations. Verse 40 says, "And she entered the house of Zacharias and greeted Elizabeth. When Elizabeth heard Mary's greeting, her baby leaped in her womb, and Elizabeth was filled with the Holy Spirit," wait for it, "and empowered by him." And she exclaimed loudly, "Blessed are you among women, and blessed is the fruit of your womb. And how has it happened to me that the mother of my Lord will come to me? For behold, when the sound of your greeting reached my ears, the baby in my womb leaped for joy." And I'm reminded when Pastor Fred started to prophesy over us, that was a leaping for some of us. There was a greeting. I greet the purpose in you. I greet the promise in you. So you didn't come here just for cute pictures and to see what you can get at the booth and so that you can hear Monica sing. You came here for a stirring of the promise and the purpose that is on your life. "And blessed is she who believed and confidently trusted that there would be a fulfillment of the things that were spoken to her from the Lord." So for a second, I want to talk about real life. We weren't always spoken and greeted and leaped for joy. Some of us were encountered with seeds of death since before we were in our mother's womb. Some of us received words that were designed and destined to destroy us. Some of us, it was a seed, a memory of a moment that someone that was not supposed to touch you, touched you. Some of us witnessed something horrible and traumatic that wasn't supposed to happen in God's plans. Those things were designed to destroy the promise on your life. But let me tell you something. The devil is so good. He's the best predator and trafficker I've ever met, that I've ever read about or heard about. He is good. He is good at manipulating you to believe the lie. Because the enemy does not have power to steal your seed. I'm getting there. I'm getting to the end. The enemy does not have power to steal your promise, to steal your purpose, to steal the assignment on your life. But why does it feel like that? It's because he is so good at making you believe that he stole it when it's there. But you're so preoccupied with the weeds of the seeds that he sowed in your life, that he had sown in your life. If I get to believe this lie that an ex-boyfriend, an ex-husband told me for long enough, I will focus on this seed that has produced death, that I will neglect the garden that is designed for me. I will be so focused that nobody loves me, nobody wants me, nobody cares about me. I don't have a plan, I don't have a purpose. So then you walk in your faith, and yes, you have these Holy Spirit empowered moments, but somehow the enemy always takes you back to those moments, to those memories, to those words, and they whisper in your ear. You can be behind a microphone, and there's a memory that torments you. And I close with this. Monica, come here. I'm trying to give you your steps, girl. Get your steps in. Whew. I talked to leadership to make sure this was cool and I was not protocol, whatever. The Lord gave me a word for you 2 months ago. But he told me to not tell you until this conference. And I said, why you gotta do me like that, God? Because now they gonna think I'm trying to shine. And God's like, I don't care. You shining for me. But seriously, the Lord gave me a word 2 months ago and told me not to tell you, not to text you, not to call you. And even though you are a friend of mine, I wanted to call you so bad just to see how you were doing. But God said, no, I want to give you a word. I wasn't ghosting you. I wasn't jealous of you. God, man. I'm just kidding. The Lord told me, wait, because you're going to be too tempted to tell her. You're so cute. No. I feel like the Lord told me that there were daggers on your back and that the Lord was pulling each one out and he was putting it in your hand. That the very thing that they used to destroy you, to hurt you, and to break your trust, we're literally just equipping you for the next level of the fight in your life. But the thing is that the fight is already won. He's already given you the victory. You just have to conquest it. He said that he is your healing balm. He is healing those wounds on your back. He said he understands that it hurt. He understands that it hurts. And that it's like a grief that is so heavy on your heart that's been like a boulder that won't break. Because you never expected and you never saw it coming. It was a boulder so strong that the enemy has wanted to manipulate you to only see those weeds. When God says, I have a garden for you. Where I have a garden for you, seeds everywhere that God has used you to plant. God told me that he understands your grief. And he says, do it again. He said that the enemy has wanted to distract you so much to the point that you are afraid to love deeply again. To trust deeply again. To give deeply again. Because the people who put those things on your back wanted to steal your seed. They wanted to copy and mimic your seed. But what they don't understand is that God is the seed giver. They cannot steal the seed. They can't take what was embedded in you before you were in your mother's womb. So you can let them talk all you want, because your fruit speaks louder. Can I have Mama J and Sharon help me pray for her? Your fruit speaks louder. I would like to invite you to pray right now for this beautiful woman that has birthed so much for the kingdom. And the Lord is saying, I am multiplying your seeds. I am blessing your seeds. Oh, yes, I forgot. How can I forget? When he gave you the daggers in your hands, I saw your kids right behind you. So your kids were like peeking, being nosy on what is she doing? But they didn't leave because they understood that mommy was on assignment. So God is saying your fruit is not only meant to bless the generations and the nations, Monica. God says, I do not forget about your fruit, your seeds at home. Even when the world tends to forget that you have seeds at home, God says, I am watering them as you water them.